All right. Hello, I'm Lee. Happy Sabbath. Back again to work on the Enoch study. And this type of work is permissible on the Sabbath. So let me get this fixed up here. Hey, look, it works. So my webcam is adjusting. That's good. Might have worked the kinks out of it. All right. So let's pull this up. Enoch chapter 51. Happy Sabbath, Rosie. Well, I don't know if my webcam's working here or not. Let's see. Happy Sabbath, trust Yah. Well, that may work a little better because I'm kind of bright there. Yeah, it's a little better. Wish that brightness was a little easier to deal with. All right, let me make sure it's on there. Yes, it is on. I can share it. Share there. Wish there was an easier way to do this. There probably is, but I don't know. Let's see. Just put out the invite. This is a Bible study. I'm no scholar. I'm no pastor. I'm nobody. So, Cindy. So, trust your eyes, Cindy. Okay. I'll try to remember that. Yeah, so I got Enoch chapter 51 pulled up. I got some DSS, Dead Sea Scrolls translations for comparison. Brenton Septuagint, the Greek translation. Thompson Septuagint, Greek translation. Blue Letter Bible, Samaritan Pentateuch, KJV. So we ended on 50 last time. So this is chapter 51. And for the most part, when I first started studying, I would ignore the scholars' commentary. If you read the Dead Sea Scrolls, the scholars will have a commentary. I just ignored that and just read the scriptures. And then I went back and read the commentary. So this will mess you up if you read this and then that just goes in your head, and then you start reading the text like listening to a pastor, and then you read the text and it messes up your understanding of the text if you come in with a presupposition. So chapter 51, in those days shall the earth also give back that which has been entrusted to it, and Sheol also give back that which it has received, and hell shall give back that which it owes. Hell's just a place in Sheol. For in those days the elect one shall arise, and he shall choose the righteous and holy from among them, for the day has drawn nigh that they should be saved. And the elect one shall in those days sit on my throne, and his mouth shall pour forth all the secrets of wisdom and counsel. For Yahuwah of spirits hath given them to him, and hath glorified him. And in those days shall the mountains leap like rams, and the hills also shall skip like lambs, satisfied with milk, and the faces of all the messengers in heaven or watchers shall be lighted up with joy, and the earth shall rejoice, and the righteous shall dwell upon it, and the elect shall walk thereon. Now, the dead raised to life, resurrection, you'll see that talked about in John 5:29, and shall come forth. And I'm just reading, bits and pieces. If you want a full study, go back and read the whole chapter and make sure, it's in context. John 5:29, and shall come forth they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. So 2 resurrections. And you'll notice I always get on here to compare. Those in the graves will hear his voice. I like to read the surrounding verses to make sure I'm not taking it out of context. And he also talks about, I will judge. That goes with the resurrection. Paul talks about it in Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 15:42, just a verse here. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption. Sown in dishonor, raised in glory. Sown in weakness, raised in power. Sown in a natural body, raised in a spiritual body. There's a natural body and there's a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. He talks about the glory of the sun, moon, and stars. Then he talks about the resurrection. It goes together. Resurrection of the dead, Philippians 3, Luke 20, resurrection. Messiah talks about this here. And they are equal to the angels in the resurrection. Enoch chapter 15, the angels weren't supposed to marry. He tells them here that you err not knowing Scripture. You do err not knowing Enoch, or the power of God. So, yeah. Resurrection at the last day. Sadducees say there's no resurrection. Yep. Tons of references. Good passage in 2nd Baruch also. He shall choose the righteous and holy from among them. He'll sit on his throne and shall pour forth all the secrets of wisdom and counsel. Isaiah 2. It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahuwah's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahuwah, to the house of the Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of Yahuwah from Jerusalem. And I try to go back to the original, the way the names would be said. There's no J. It would be a Y. Same here, Jacob. Hebrew words, Elohim, which can mean two. Lord, they replaced his name. It would be Yahuwah, and on and on and on. And mountains leap like rams. Faces of the angels in heaven lighted up with joy. Just one that came to mind. Luke 15:10, likewise I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of Elohim over one sinner that repenteth. Yeah, 2 Thessalonians 1:7, and to you who are troubled, rest with us when Yahusha, or Master Yahusha, shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels, or messengers, in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not Elohim, and that obey not the gospel of Yahusha Messiah. He taught the law, the fullness of the law, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of Yahuwah, and from the glory of his power, when he shall come to be glorified in his saints, and to be admired in all them that believe, because of our testimony among you was believed in that day. So Enoch 52, After those days in that place where I had seen all the visions of that which was hidden, for I had been carried off in a whirlwind, and they had borne me toward the west. There mine eyes saw all the secret things of heaven that shall be, a mountain of iron, and a mountain of copper, and a mountain of silver, and a mountain of gold, and a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the messenger or watcher who went with me, saying, What things are these which I have seen in secret? And he said unto me, All these things which thou hast seen shall serve the dominion of his anointed, that he may be potent and mighty on the earth. And that messenger or watcher of peace answered, saying unto me, Wait a little, and there shall be revealed unto thee all the secret things which surround Yahuwah of spirits, and these mountains which thine eyes have seen, the mountain of iron, and the mountain of copper, and the mountain of silver, and the mountain of gold, and the mountain of soft metal, and the mountain of lead. All these shall be in the presence of the elect one, as wax before the fire, and like the water which streams down from above upon those mountains, and they shall become powerless before his feet. And it shall come to pass in those days that none shall be saved, either by gold or by silver, and none be able to escape. And there shall be no iron for war, nor shall one clothe oneself with a breastplate. Bronze shall be of no service, and tin shall be of no service, and shall not be esteemed. And lead shall not be desired. And all these things shall be denied and destroyed from the surface of the earth, when the elect one shall appear before the face of Yahuwah of spirits. I'm going to check something. This is the 1917 R.H. Charles translation. He didn't have access to a lot of manuscripts that we have now, but it is copyright free, so a lot of people will copy it. But the other manuscripts, so here's 50. This is a good one if you want to pick one up. Not on the Sabbath, but Enoch Hermenia translations include some of the Dead Sea Scrolls readings. Yep, so 51. My chosen one will arise, or elect one, same thing. And yeah, not any big changes to those two chapters. So the Ethiopics translated out of the Greek was translated out of the Hebrew original. He used the Greek manuscripts and Ethiopic manuscripts, but he didn't have the Dead Sea Scrolls Hebrew originals. So here, no war, no iron for war, all that stuff's gone, right? Yeah, so we were reading Isaiah 2. Here it continues in 2:4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of Yahuwah. That's when he comes back. And where's it at? They're not going to learn war. Same thing in Micah 4. Micah 4 and Isaiah 2. A lot of things line up. I know there's a verse in there. I think it's in Joel. Joel? Yep, that's when they return. And yep, not sure about that. All right, so the chosen one or elect one shall appear before the face of Yahuwah of spirits. All these destroyed from the surface of the earth. Enoch's pretty straightforward. So we can struggle to understand the prophets a lot of times, but when you read Enoch, it's like straight out. It explains the prophets, or explains what the prophets were talking about. There mine eyes, chapter 53, there mine eyes saw a deep valley with open mouths, and all who dwell on the earth and sea and islands shall bring to him gifts and presents and tokens of homage, but that deep valley shall not become full. So they're going to bring gifts. That's Isaiah. Where's that at? Toward the end of Isaiah, I think. Let's see. His people will bring Ezekiel. Nope. Isaiah 60. Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's the end there. For brass, I'll bring gold. For iron, I will bring silver. And for wood, brass. And for stones, iron. I'll also make thy officers peace and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land. No war, wasting, or destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But Yahuwah shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy Elohim thy glory. Thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself, for Yahuwah shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Thou shalt suck the milk of the Gentiles, the breast of kings. Same thing when they left Egypt, they left with their stuff. Second Exodus, same thing. Need to read Isaiah again. Yep, see, he makes reference to the first Exodus. He remembered the days of old, Moses. We are all as an unclean thing. Wolf and the lamb shall feed together. The lion shall eat straw like the bullock. The dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy all my holy mountain, saith Yahuwah. That was 65. Yeah, see? Let's see here. 66, I will set a sign among them, will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, to Pul and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Yahuwah out of all nations upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem. Saith Yahuwah, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel unto the house of Yahuwah. I think it's 53. It's all over the place. So is there 40, 43? Maybe it's 43 I'm thinking of. Yep. I will say to the north, give up, to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Yep. Let all nations be gathered together. Let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified, or let them hear and say it is truth. Behold, let's see. Beasts of the field shall honor me. I give waters in the wilderness, rivers in the desert, to give drink to my people, my chosen. I'm sure they bought. Let's see. Let's see. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives, not for price nor reward, saith Yahuwah of hosts. Concerning my sons, see up there. Thus saith Yahuwah, the labor of Egypt, and the merchandise of Ethiopia, and of the Sabaeans, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee in chains, they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely Elohim is in thee, and there is none else. There is no Elohim. Verily thou art a Elohim that hidest thyself, O Elohim of Israel, the Savior. They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols. But Yisrael shall be saved in Yahuwah with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. It's all over the place. It's hard to find it. Chapter 45. It's in there somewhere. Deep Valley. And their hands commit lawless deeds. Yep. Plain and simple. And the sinners devour all whom they lawlessly oppress. Yet the sinners shall be destroyed before the face of Yahuwah of spirits. They shall be banished from off the face of his earth, and they shall perish forever and ever. And some will say, oh, that's not New Testament. That's not even Old Testament, because they took it out. Well, Paul said in Romans 2, for as many as have sinned without law, that's the ones that say the law is done away with, we don't have to keep the law, blah, 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 shall also perish without law. So they're going to perish without law. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. So key off on that first point right there. He just said those without law will perish. All right. Some of the ignorant will be saved, but that's a very dangerous route to go. So those who commit lawless deeds perish forever and ever. Matches perfectly. For I saw all the angels of punishment abiding there and preparing all the instruments of Satan. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, for whom are they preparing these instruments? And he said unto me, They prepare these for the kings and the mighty of this earth, that they may thereby be destroyed. Now, this is... Some will say you get completely destroyed right off the bat. And I more think that it's a torment and a punishment. And then after a time, when he wipes everything out and creates it new, then they're gone. But there's going to be a time of torment and torture for the ones that are not saved. Matthew 25:41, Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. So they're going to go into everlasting fire for the devil and his angels. So people say, okay, so they're gone immediately. No, they got to be judged. They're going to be here till they're judged. Thrown into the fire. So Revelation 20:10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone. Okay, so that's where he just said people are going to go, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. That's not immediate destruction gone. That's tormented day and night forever and ever, until a certain point when he says there's no more day or night. That's where people get tripped up. There's different time periods. It doesn't happen all at one time. He comes back. The nations learn the law. There's a judgment set. He renews the heaven and the earth. He don't do it all at one time. We'll see that later in Enoch. And after this, the righteous and elect ones shall cause the house of his congregation to appear. Henceforth they shall be no more hindered in the name of Yahuwah of spirits. The house of his congregation. Also his people. John 14:2, In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And these mountains shall not stand as the earth before his righteousness, but the hills shall be as a fountain of water, and the righteous shall have rest from the oppression of sinners. Isaiah 66. And let's see here. Let's go back here. Isaiah 66:23. And it shall come to pass that from one new month, it's not new moon, it's new month, to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahuwah. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched. We saw the everlasting fire just a minute ago. And they shall be a pouring into all flesh. That's like, I don't want to see that, right? The ones that are left. And the righteous shall have rest from the oppression of sinners. Now, I don't have it all figured out, but I understand a couple of things. Chapter 54, And I looked and turned to another part of the earth, and saw there a deep valley with burning fire. And they brought the kings and the mighty, and began to cast them into this deep valley. And burning fire, right? And there mine eyes saw how they made these instruments, iron chains of immeasurable weight. See, they're instruments of torture, right? Daniel 12:2, Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. That's the resurrection again. Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Everlasting life, everlasting contempt. And he reiterates the same thing in Matthew 18. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt, or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. And where's that? Yep, Isaiah 66 there when he comes back. Revelation 20. Tormented day and night forever and ever. Instruments, iron chains of immeasurable weight. Deep valley with burning fire. And I asked the angel of peace, messenger of peace, who went with me, saying, For whom are these chains being prepared? He said unto me, These are being prepared for the host of Azazel, so that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation, and they shall cover their jaws with rough stones, as Yahuwah of spirits commanded. And Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel shall take hold of them on that great day, and cast them on that day into the burning furnace, that Yahuwah of spirits may take vengeance on them for all their unrighteousness in becoming subject to Satan, and leading astray those who dwell on the earth. Now, taking vengeance on them, if it's the end and you're burned up and you're gone, like that, is that suffering? Is that just punishment? That's easy. There's nothing hard about that. Easy. You're out. I mean, that's for someone who doesn't want to exist forever. That's not torment. That's just gone. So he takes vengeance on them for their unrighteousness. And to the lake of fire and brimstone. And he says here, prepared and his angels. Most don't read the text like that. And his angels. You got to break it down. For the devil and his angels. Take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness. Azazel, one of the angels. In those days shall punishment come from Yahuwah of spirits, and he will open all the chambers of waters which are above the heavens, and the fountains which are beneath the earth, and all the waters shall be joined with the waters. That which is above the heavens is the masculine, and the water which is beneath the earth is the feminine. And they shall destroy all who dwell on the earth, and those who dwell under the ends of the heaven. And when they have recognized their unrighteousness, which they have wrought on the earth, then by these shall they perish. And that sounds like, yep. So this is a fragment on the flood mixed in. So, and you'll see that there's a book of Noah, there's a book of Abraham, there's a book of Jacob, all we have is fragments. So 50, you'll see fragments of Enoch mixed in. Don't let that trip you up. Fragments of Noah. 53. Yep, they got a little footnote there indicating everlasting punishment will not be in the presence of his righteousness. Wording. Deep into a deep valley. Yep. And he separates it like those that are destroyed on the earth, and then your spirit has judgment too. So when you're reading a passage, you got to make sure you're separating. Okay, this is the flesh destruction, this is the spiritual punishment. So that's two different ones, being destroyed on the earth and being destroyed in eternal punishment. So it's two different things, but it's the same thing. It's still punishment. Chapter 55, and after that the head of days repented and said, or turned, that would be turned. That's where we lose our understanding, get translated from Hebrew to Greek to Ethiopic to English, and then we read it in English and we're trying to figure out what it says. Turned and said, in vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth. In Hebrew, it would be teshuvah. Repent, turn, change direction. And he sware by his great name, henceforth I will not do so to all who dwell on the earth, and I will set a sign in the heaven, and this shall be a pledge of good faith between me and them forever, so long as heaven is above the earth, and this is in accordance with my command. So this goes along, and the chapter breaks and the verse breaks that'll mess you up too. Just got to be careful. The fragment of Noah goes with this here. So that's the rainbow he set in the sky. He swore by his great name. Yes, he has a great name. Final judgment of Azazel, the watchers and their children, when I have desired to take hold of them by the hand of the angels on the day of tribulation and pain. Because of this, I will cause my day of tribulation and pain. So he separates. Here's another time period. And I will cause my chastisement and my wrath to abide upon them, saith Yahuwah, Elohim, Yahuwah of spirits. You mighty kings who dwell on the earth, you shall have to behold mine elect one, how he sits on the throne of glory, and judges Azazel and all his associates and all his hosts in the name of Yahuwah of spirits. So we know who sits on the throne of glory, judging all those. Execute judgment. And there's far more scripture that ties in all over the place than I could have time to go through. It's an all day long thing. John 5:27, and let's start a little earlier here. So 26, for as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and hath given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice. Now we read this earlier. Yep. So it ties in. The hour is coming, the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, they that hear shall live. Where's that? Where's that verse I was looking for? That's a good one. Romans 13:4, for he is the minister of Elohim to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of Elohim, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. So why would you be afraid if you're just going to be poof gone? Fear? I'm just gone. You tormented? Yes. That sucks. Let's see. Jude 1. Yep. As Enoch prophesied, he comes with 10,000 of his saints to execute judgment upon all, to convince all that are ungodly among them of their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. You speak against his law, his ways, that's speaking against him. That's for those that don't know. There's another verse I was looking for, but I can't find it. So, chapter 56. And I saw there the host of the angels of punishment going, and they held the scourges and chains of iron and bronze. Scourges. Let's see. And this is helpful too. A lot of people just don't know what English words mean. Scourges, if this dictionary is accurate, they change things all the time. A source of widespread dreadful affliction and devastation, such as that caused by pestilence or war, a means of inflicting severe suffering, vengeance, punishment, a small whip used to inflict punishment. You kind of get the idea. What's he mean? There it is. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, saying, to whom are these who hold the scourges going? And he said unto me, to their elect and beloved ones, that they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. Then that valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved, and the days of their lives shall be at an end, and the days of their leading astray shall not thenceforth be reckoned. So if they're not living on the earth anymore, they can't lead astray, which also means their days of their lives will be at an end. They're not going to be on the earth anymore. They're going to be in punishment. You got to separate it. Go up to, the valley, the chasm of the abyss. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just for the ones that are having trouble with that. So that's 3. They go together. 2 and 3 go together, but so Joel 3:2, I'll also gather all nations, will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. See, they took his land. They're in the land now. That's going to be Joel 3:2. Okay. Septuagint is the chapters are broken differently. So if you're looking for that, you're going to have to go to chapter 2. Yeah. So you'll know that I'm in the midst of Israel. We will know. Yep, they're going to run, destroy. For his camp is very great when he comes. Yep. Now, therefore, where's it at? I will no longer make you a reproach among the Gentiles. That's for Israel and those grafted into Israel. Romans 11, Ephesians 2. That's the New Testament. Where's that at? The valley. It's 4. There we go. So behold, in those days at that time, when I shall have turned the captivity of Yehuda and Jerusalem, I will also gather all the Gentiles. So if this has happened, like the Jews are back in the land, that's his people, right? Captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, he turned it, right? That's what they tell you. Then why have all the Gentiles not been gathered and brought down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and plead with them? He's going to plead with them. And my heritage is Israel, who has been dispersed among the Gentiles. These Gentiles have divided my land, cast lots over my people, have given their boys to harlots, and sold their girls for wine, and have drunk. Hadn't happened yet. Who is the beast and the false prophet? Well, I know the beast is the beast of Daniel. The last one's Rome, and it rules until the end. False prophet, Pope. That stuff gets a little hard to sort through when you get into that stuff. He said unto me, to their elect. I know as far as I can tell in Scripture, the harlot that rides the beast is the people that you can't speak against, that run everything, the banks and everything, JEWS, the higher ups, most common people. I think they're just ignorant. They don't know. Just like Christians in the church, they don't know. But they ride the beast, and the beast is Rome, which is Catholic Church, and this rules the earth. Rome rules the earth till the end. And he said unto me, to their elect and beloved ones, that they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. Then that valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved. We read that already. So, their leading astray shall not thenceforth be reckoned. In those days the messengers shall return and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and the Medes. They shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them. They shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks. And they shall go up and tread under foot the land of his elect ones. Kind of interesting. In the past, 120 years, adamant parable of the vineyard makes a good point that the increase in technology, we went from horse and buggy and farming all the way up to planes, trains, and automobiles, computers, and everything in 100 years. And then 47, 50, they take the land of Israel, right? Now they own the land. And the land of his elect ones shall be before them as a threshing floor and a highway, but the city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their horses. They shall begin to fight among themselves, and their right hand shall be strong against themselves. And a man shall not know his brother, nor his son his father, or his mother, till there be no number of corpses through their slaughter, and their punishment be not in vain. In those days Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein, and their destruction shall be at an end. Sheol shall devour the sinners in the presence of the elect. And that lines up with Daniel 12. At the end, knowledge is increased. Enoch says wisdom is given to the elect, and then a sword is given to the elect after that. So is this the earlier part and this is the later part? Got to figure out where it breaks. So let's see here. It's I might know a percent, maybe 99%. I don't know. 57. Let's see here. Kings and mighty belong in the previous valley, not in this one, which is designated for fallen angels. Interesting note. Chosen ones, his chosen ones. Yep. It'd be nice if I could go through and just read through that translation with the extra stuff. So 57, and it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons and men riding thereon and coming on the winds from the east and from the west and from the south. See, there's your key statements, where they're coming from. Valley of Judgment. The day of Yahuwah is near in the Valley of Judgment. And then Messiah talked about the sun, the moon, and the stars shall be darkened. Yep, it flips over. Sons and daughters from Bar. And that's all over Scripture. Yep. Isaiah 60, Isaiah 43. I think we read that one already. Joel 3. The return. Second Exodus. That's going to be serious. Serious. It's interesting that he's unsealing this stuff right here at the end. Isaiah 11. Go through a couple. Second Exodus is everywhere. It tells you what's going to happen. Isaiah 11. Let's just go down a couple verses. You can read the whole chapter. Starts about 10, goes through 15. So it shall come to pass in that day that Yahuwah shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people. Second Exodus. Which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. That's where everybody's coming from. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, shall assemble the outcast of Yisrael, and shall gather together the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth. You can keep reading there. Isaiah 42, 43, 44, 65, 66. It's all over the place. Jeremiah, Ezekiel 11, Ezekiel 36, 37, Ezekiel 20, the last half of that. Psalms 96 through 101, just everywhere. Minor prophets. Where's Jeremiah at? 16. Jeremiah 16. So he said he gathers his remnant a second time. In Jeremiah 16. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that it shall no more be said, Yahuwah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Won't be talking about the first Exodus no more. But Yahuwah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Second time. Jeremiah 23. Same thing. Where's it at? Yep. So Jeremiah 23:7. Same thing. So coming on the winds from the east, from the west to the south, and the noise of their wagons was heard. When this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from one end of heaven to the other in one day. And they shall all fall down and worship before Yahuwah of spirits, and this is the end of the second parable. So they're going to fall down and worship. The pillars of the earth moved. That's all over Scripture too. I'll say earth moved. Isaiah 24, the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. Go through and read it all. That is heathen raised, kingdom removed, earth is melted. Psalm 46. It's hard to remember where all this stuff's at. Good thing we got a search engine. Earth moved. Now it doesn't all, and not every single verse applies to that, but a lot does. So, oh yeah, this 2 Samuel 22. Then the earth shook, trembled, the foundation of heaven moved and shook because he was wroth. He's pissed. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. He rode upon a cherub and did fly. He was seen upon the wings of the wind. Did hear my voice out of his temple. 2 Samuel 22. Thick clouds, he comes on the clouds, right? Darkness pavilions around him, dark waters, thick clouds of skies. Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. Yahuwah thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. Foundations of the world were discovered. I think that's more like when he comes and all the seas go back, because 2nd Ezra says that the seas are like 70%. The world was 15% water before the flood. So we're going to see the pre-flood world. All the seas are going to go back. Comes on the clouds. That's in there. It has to connect. All Scripture connects. Precept on precept. Comes on the clouds. His strength in the clouds. Clouds and darkness round about him, righteousness and judgment, habitation of his throne. Mark 13:26. Then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Just it all connects. They shall fall down and worship. Revelation. Revelation 4:10, the 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Yahuwah, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. So it'd be O Yahusha. He created all things. Well, Yahuwah also. But fall down, yea, they worship. Oh yeah, Jeremiah 30 and 31, second Exodus 2. And Isaiah 30, so there's 29, 30. Not sure. I think it's right around there. Yep. So Enoch 58. Now began to speak the third parable concerning the righteous and elect. Blessed are ye, you righteous and elect, for glorious shall be your lot. And the righteous shall be in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of eternal life. The days of their life shall be unending, and the days of the holy without number. And they shall seek the light and find righteousness with Yahuwah of spirits. There shall be peace to the righteous in the name of the eternal Yahuwah. And after this it shall be said to the holy in heaven that they should seek out the secrets of righteousness, the heritage of faith, for it has become bright as the sun upon the earth, and darkness is past. And there shall be a light that never endeth, and to a limit of days they shall not come. Yeah, Isaiah 30. Yep. See, when he healeth, he bindeth up the breach of his people and healeth the stroke of their wound. Second Exodus. Regathering. Behold, the name of Yahuwah cometh from far, burning with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue is a devouring fire, and his breath is an overflowing stream, shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity, and there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. You shall have a song, you see that, as in the night when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of Yahuwah, to the mighty one of Yisrael. All shall come to the mountain. Seen that earlier. Great slaughter. There shall be upon every high mountain, upon every high hill, rivers and streams of water in the day of the great slaughter, when the towers fall. Great slaughter. Just go back and read it all. Where's the one at? That's interesting. Isaiah 9. Upon them hath the light shined. That's Messiah. That's Messiah. And it can also be two-part prophecy. His first coming, second coming. Go together. Yeah. Isaiah 60:19. The sun shall no more be light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but Yahuwah shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy Elohim thy glory. That's what. Sure, there's a passage in Revelation. Oh yeah, he stood Habakkuk. I know what search here. Either by day. We might have already read that one. Yeah, Revelation 22:5. There shall be no more night, no night there. They shall need no candle, neither light of the sun, nor Yahuwah. For Yahuwah Elohim giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Yep, the Lamb is the light thereof. Messiah, Revelation 21:23. Chapter 59. In those days mine eyes saw the secrets of lightnings and of lights and of the judgments they execute. Literally, their judgment. They lighten for a blessing or a curse, as Yahuwah of spirits willeth. And there I saw the secrets of thunder, and how when it resounds above in the heaven, the sound thereof is heard. And he caused me to see the judgments executed on the earth, whether they be for well-being and blessing, or for a curse, according to the word of Yahuwah of spirits. And after that, all the secrets of the lights and lightnings were shown to me, and they lighten for a blessing and for satisfying. Chapter 60. Yep. So Enoch. We do 60. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch, in that parable I saw how mighty quaking made the heaven of the heavens quake, and the host of the Most High, and the angels, messengers, 1,000, thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000 were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the messengers and the righteous stood around him. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and dissolved were my reins, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of the heaven. And Michael said to me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and long-suffering toward those who dwell on the earth. And when the day, so this is what he's been doing, and when the day, the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which Yahuwah of spirits hath prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared for the elect a covenant, but for sinners an inquisition. For the elect a covenant. Isaiah 50, as in the days of Noah. As in the days of Noah. What's he talking about? Isaiah 54:9. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. As I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so I have sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. His covenant, Noah's covenant. He swore a covenant. For the mountains shall depart, the hills shall be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed. Israel, saith Yahuwah, that hath mercy on thee. That's the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And for those who deny the righteous judgment, for those who take his name in vain, like the covenant, but for sinners an inquisition. When the punishment of Yahuwah's spirits shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of the Yahuwah's spirits may not come in vain, and it shall slay the children with their mothers and the children with their fathers. Where's that verse at? Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. That is not withhold his hand. That may have something to do with it. Their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. Yeah, I think it's Jeremiah. Is it Jeremiah? Blood up to a horse's blood. Come on, where's it at? I try not to share the verses unless I'm almost 100% sure that's what it's talking about. Blood in the streets. I'm going to move on if I can't find it. All right, streets filled with blood. Jeremiah. $19? No. Nope. Nope. I can't remember where it's at. Revelation 14:19, the angel messenger thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, not girdle, bridle, sorry, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Yep. Afterwards, judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. On that day were two monsters parted, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of the waters. You can look Leviathan up in the book of Job. I think it's chapter 38. The Jubilees creation account, 2nd Esdras. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his breast a waste wilderness named Dudaon, on the east of the garden where the elect and righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the seventh from Adam, the first man whom Yahuwah spirits created. You'll see that account of Enoch being taken up, where he was placed in Jubilees. Not sure if Behemoth's in there. Behemoth's in Job, if you get the right translation. If you go with the KJV Apocrypha, you won't. See. Behemoth. There you go. That's in Job chapter 40. Modify search. Apocrypha. No results. But if you go to, I think they named him Enoch in the KJV Apocrypha, which is goofy. Yeah. Yeah. They named Behemoth Enoch. 2nd Ezra 6:49. So 2nd Ezra 6:49. Just go RSV, not KJV Apocrypha. And you'll see here in the RSV, Behemoth. It's not Enoch. It's funny. So here we go. And I besought the other messenger that he should show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on one day, and cast the one into the abysses of the sea, and the other unto the dry land of the wilderness. And more on where the Garden of Eden is located, look up ophirinstitute.com. And yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, on the abysses of the sea, other unto the dry land of the wilderness or desert. And he said unto me, Thou son of man, herein thou dost seek to know what is hidden. And the other messenger who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me what is first and last in the heaven, in the height, and beneath the earth, in the depth, and at the ends of the heaven, and on the foundation of the heaven, and the chambers of the winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their host, that they may at once obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are assigned to it, while it is waiting for its peal, and the thunder and lightning are inseparable, and although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit, and separate not. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal, and divides equally between them. For the treasury of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them as it peals is held in with a bridle. That's interesting. And turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength he draws it back with a rain, and in like manner is driven forward and dispenses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own messenger, and the spirit of the hell is a good messenger. You read the Jubilees creation account, and it tells you he put spirits in charge of that stuff. And the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength, and there is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of the mist is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious, both in light and in darkness, in winter and in summer, and in its chamber is a messenger. And the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of the heaven, and is connected with the chambers of the rain, and its course is in winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chamber, the angels come and open the chamber and lead it out, and when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water of the earth, and whensoever it unites with the water on the earth, missing. So that's chapter 60, right? Yep, missing there too. A line appears to have dropped out here. Yeah, I wonder why they dropped that out. For the waters are for those who dwell on the earth, for they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High who is in heaven. Therefore there is a measure for the rain, and the messengers take it in charge. And these things I saw toward the garden of the righteous, garden of truth, garden of Eden. And the angel of peace who was with me said to me, These two monsters prepared conformably to the greatness of Elohim shall feed. Calls them monsters. It doesn't even have that in the that translation. I think was it Jeremiah 38 and the Septuagint says Leviathan, or it doesn't say Leviathan, but I think it's meat for the saints. So that's 61. Yeah, that's a lot more. I think I'm going to stop there. I'll just go to 60. Yep, that'll be good. I think 60 is good. We covered a lot. So if you need to go back and slow it down, because I know I go kind of fast. Sorry about that. Yep. But yeah, hope that blesses you and is helpful. If anybody's got questions or anything I can help with, let me know. And yeah, happy Sabbath. Good study. I'll hope to see y'all next time.